Tommy V in Michigan. He was on fire this morning.
Okay, thank you, Tommy V in Michigan. Yes, sir. If you share my prayers.
Tommy V's on. Yeah, we'll jump over there.
Tommy V doing great stuff over there.
All right, so I've got Miss Adams here and Mr. Cooley. Mr. Cooley, you're not gonna be able to walk around. I'm about to call your case for trial, so you got to find a place you just stand still and don't be moving around, okay? All right, I need both of you to please unmute. I'm sorry, Mr. Daniel and Ms. White, you're both free to go. I've signed off on your case, so unless you have any other questions, you're free to go. Mr. Daniel, you have a question? Hold on one second, Ms. White. Mr. Daniel, did you have a question?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Thank you, Your
I'm
Honor.
sorry. Yeah, you're free to go. Sorry, have a nice day. All right.
Thank you.
And Ms. Adams, please raise your right hand. Do you both swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
I do.
All right, you can put your hands down now. All right. Okay, so Mr. Cooley.
Yes.
What's up here? What is happening? Number 3. Okay, hold on. All right, so I'm going to let you present your case first. I'm looking at your petition. So he's the petitioner, so he will go first, and then Ms. Adams, you'll have an opportunity to ask him a question when he is done with his testimony, and then you'll have an opportunity to testify, and then he will have an opportunity to ask you some questions. Okay?
Okay.
And Ms. Baldwin and Ms. King, you should be getting breakout room links to go into a breakout room fairly shortly. Okay? All right.
Madam Clerk, I just want to make sure you receive my email address.
Yes, I just emailed you the calendar.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
So Ms. Harper, do we have anybody else? We don't have any other cases that need the mediator, correct?
No, just the last one for 13.
Okay. So Ms. Lee, it looks like there aren't any further cases. So if you're, thank you so much for coming. You're free to go if you'd like. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. So Mr. Cooley, it looks like you're saying you are the owner of this property listed on the warrant and that Ms. Adams has not paid rent and that she owed, at least at the time of filing, she owed about $3,534. It looks, $589 a month. Is that the rent?
It is not. It is not.
I'm just looking at the pleadings.
So, yes, ma'am. So the rent is broken down this way. She pays $439, $150 for a pet fee.
Hold on one second. The rent. So you guys have a lease. Let me just establish that. Is there a lease?
There is a lease.
What is the duration of the lease? Is it still active?
Yes.
What is the start and end date?
Let me look up the end date, Judge. What's the end date? All right. While she's getting that, can I go over the amount?
Okay.
So you just
I can't have you getting information or talking to other people while you're testifying.
my apologies.
If you're going to have another witness, you can do that, but they can't just be feeding you information. Okay.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. So you have an active lease in place. Okay. Correct.
Yes. October 31st is the ending lease day.
October
2024
of 2024. Yes. Okay. Yes. And in terms of rent, what does the lease say the rent is without any other?
She has is a Section 8. Section 8 pays a portion and she's required to pay a portion. Would you like to know the full portion or just her portion?
So what's the total rent owed at the moment? Like the total monthly rent is what?
It's total $20.95. If we just going by the rent.
And what is Miss Adams' portion?
I take that back. is okay. Yeah, it's $20.95. Okay. Her portion is $439, and Section 8 is $16.56. They pay their portion, of course.
Okay. Section 8 pays 16 what?
56.
56. All right. Are you saying that you haven't received payment from either source?
No, just her.
Okay, so Section 8 is paying their portion, but she's not paying her portion?
Correct.
And when is the last time you received? So 439 is the correct portion for her, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And when is the last time you received payment from her?
Her last payment was in December. She had a balance though still.
So you received the last payment. What was the balance after she paid in December of 2023?
It was $9, but Your Honor, we still have a pet fee that's not included in that.
Okay. All right. So you're seeking 439 from 439 plus $9, and then January, February, March, April, May, and then 27 days in June.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is 439, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 5. All right. Okay, so just the rent, I have 5 months at 439, and then 27 days in June, which is $14.63 per. Miss Adams, you have to have your camera on.
Yeah, I'm plugging it up. It's the battery was just about to die. That's why. Okay.
Okay.
Turn
That's
it side.
$14.63 per day. That's $395.01. Add those together. I've got $2,590.01. That's rent. You said there was a pet fee.
Yes. She has a pet that she said she registered for it to be a what do you call the dog? Service dog. I did request that she send some form of document prescribing that. All she had to do is send it to me through email I never received it. I did receive some text messages, but I never received a full document from a doctor. So at that point, she knew that it was $150 based upon our lease if she had a pet in the property. So that's what we were charging.
Per month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how long has she had the dog?
From my whereabouts, starting in December, she had it longer, but she has been paying. But starting in December, she hasn't paid that pet fee.
So the same amount. So, okay, so 6 months at 150.
Yes, ma'am.
Someone's out by my window doing their lawn. Okay, that's $900.
Yes.
Seeking $2,590.01 in rent and $900 in pet fees.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Late fee of $44.
Per month?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's 6. No. Okay. That's 264. All right. So so the total here to The total, all those combined, $3,754.01.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
Yes. I'm asking for money judgment in that amount. Also 7 days, Your Honor. At this point, I've given her starting back in December to pay rent. She has been notified month after month. So I'm asking for the move out in 7 days.
Okay, so a written money judgment. All right.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, Ms. Adams. Okay, so this is going to be your opportunity. You're going to have a chance to testify in a second. Okay, so this is not testimony yet. If you have any questions for Mr. Cooley, you can ask him a question now.
Okay, Mr. Cooley, so you stated that you asked me for documentation of my dog, and I told you at that point, then I was going to register her. And you claim I sent you something, but it was just a text message. You never received any email correspondence?
I never received documentation by a doctor or someone certified to give you, I guess, the prescription for the I forgot what it's called.
Okay,
What's
and so when I did
service
give it
dog?
to you from Charlotta Lawton, which was my therapist at the time, which is board certified with her DEA number on the paper, you stated that it needed to be on her letterhead, not that she wasn't certified, and I told you that I was seeing her because this was during the midst of COVID.
Ms. Adams, you got to ask questions. It's a question.
Okay.
Testify in a minute.
Okay. So the letter that you say you didn't receive from a certified therapist, did you not receive that letter and stated that it was not good enough because it was not on an office letterhead?
I believe you sent me an email and you typed it up personally. I said it needs to be submitted by the physician who's qualified to give you that service animal. So no, it was something it was your documentation. It was not a certified. I don't know if it's a doctor or a physician who's supposed to subscribe it. So yes, that's what was
So you said
indicated.
After you asked for that and you said that it looked like I did it, I sent you a screenshot, did I not, of me corresponding on the telehealth website with my therapist? Is that the text message you're speaking of?
Honestly, I don't know what it was. I don't know who you were responding to or talking to. I just wanted something that we both could have documentation that was sent. So in cases like today, we can go right back to it because it's certified. I just felt like anything that's going to be certified.
Do you not remember me giving you her email, her information in order to correspond with her?
I have no idea about the email. In other words, here's what I'm saying. I would not search something out for you. I would think you should present it to me because the terms of the lease has been presented to you in writing on the conditions of having animals inside the home. So
if I had a pet, once I went through and I informed you, did I not inform you during the time I had a psychotic episode, nervous break, whatever you like to say, and I was in a behavioral health hospital for
Ms. Adams, could you put the camera? We're seeing half your face. If you could just move it a little bit.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, it was on the charger. So
okay, all right, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
Thank you. So, yeah, did I not make you aware of the time? And it was 2 that I was in a behavioral health hospital after I needed to be stabilized.
When we was in court, just like right now, that's when you let me know when we was on eviction. Just like today, I'm finding out other information that you're going through. And I always respond like this. If I am able to put things in writing for you on an official letterhead, I just want the same courtesy. Just give it back to me on official letterhead where I can do my due diligence. I really don't like taking Tenant's word for things because it don't always add up. I'm not saying you don't have it. I'm saying it was never presented to me the way I asked for it, which is certified on their letterhead. You don't need you to do that. I don't want you. In other words, I don't want something sent to you, sent to me.
Your Honor, can I share? in order to ask him about something I shared. Can I share my screen?
You can't share your screen, but did you submit evidence?
I did.
Email? Okay, so Ms. Harper, could you look for the evidence submitted from Ms. Adams? So just let me, while Ms. Harper is looking for that, Ms. Adams, so when you're submitting evidence like that, when you're trying to show, if it's not on official letterhead, it may not be coming from the person. So if you've got it, when you're sending stuff like that in, I don't think it's unreasonable to require that it be on the physician's official letterhead instead of just some informal document. Okay, so if that's what's going on, I just want to, I do think I don't think it's unreasonable to ask that the doctor, because that's kind of the standard practice, that they would write something out on official letterhead and then issue that.
Yeah, I also agree, Your Honor, with the exception of, again, it was during the height of COVID, it was a telehealth. It's a site called Better Health. So so she was.
That shouldn't prevent someone from using their letterhead to send a letter.
Right. So if she didn't have an office, would it just be her initial or her regular letterhead?
I mean, that's up to her. But I mean, if she's got a business and she's an official psychiatrist, it's most official psychiatrists or therapists are going to have letterhead for their office. So
you're right.
So
you're right. And so moving forward, I kept letting him know she's a service dog. I registered her. Like he said, I did take the due diligence after she gave me a prescription. I did register her. And furthermore, he kept charging. So after August, he had gotten a lump sum. After he had gotten a lump sum, the rent was paid to zero. $2,000 and some odd dollars was owed back to me. They decided to go ahead. I'm sorry, my battery's low. They decided to add it as a credit. That was not a problem. I asked him to please stop charging the pet fees. He said, I need a letter.
Hold on. He's saying he needs a letter. And I'm trying. Did you send him one on official letterhead or no? Is what I'm trying to find. That's a yes or no.
Yeah, it's a yes.
Okay.
The second time, the first one was my first therapist. I have a whole nother second therapist, and it's a psychiatrist who actually it does my medication. She was my psychologist. So yes, it's from psychiatric care.
When did you send it to him?
November 8th of 2023.
Okay. And you sent this in to Ms. Hart as pursuant to the court notice? Okay.
I did.
Harper, were you able to find it?
She talking about the registration one, or you saying you sent in the one with the letterhead?
Do you not have the one with the letterhead? I can attach it quickly.
You didn't submit it, Ms. Adams? Ms. Adams, you have to have your camera on, ma'am. I'm gonna have to.
I'm sorry. I was trying to look and see in my email and try and show her which one.
Or you got your cameras off.
It's taking a time to come on, Your Honor, because the iPhone charger is at the bottom, so I can't sit the phone up like this and charge it at the same time. If I put the charger in, I have to turn it sideways.
Does it say patient summary, the title of it, or no?
The top would say psychiatric care. I hope I sent it in. I sent in a lot of stuff, but the top would say psychiatric care. It states my name.
Okay, so Ms. Adams, while she's looking for this, are you just disputing the pet fee? And you're not, I mean, have you not paid, do you agree that you haven't paid your portion of the rent for that duration that he had testified about earlier?
I agree, because we keep splitting hairs about my ESA animal, and she's not a pet. Like, okay, so I understand.
Paid, but you're disputing the pet fees?
Yes, I understand disability isn't outwardly or visually but that's not to downplay. I have PTSD. I have ADHD. I'm going through a slew of things right now. So yes,
I'm just asking about the rent. I'm just saying it
absolutely
doesn't sound like you're disputing that you haven't paid the rent, but you're talking about the fees.
Yes,
So
Your Honor. I'm talking.
okay. All right. I'm just trying to narrow down what's disputed. Okay.
Because the rent he states it as $539. That's incorrect. It's $439. So yeah,
He testified
it's like it's never.
That's been corrected. That's been like he said $439. Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Harper. What do you got?
The only thing I see is text message. I see a patient summary, and then I see the registration thing for her dog.
Why don't we
but I
just
don't
share
see-
all of them? Whatever you got from her, let's just share it and see what it is, and then we'll go from there.
And Your Honor, if I forgot to add it, is there no way to add it now?
It should have been sent in prior to the hearing.
Okay. It should say Atlanta Internal Medicine and Psychiatric Care. If you don't see that, then
Yeah, this is the only.
This is all right. So those are the text messages. That's not what we're looking for. Okay, what is this?
that's my diagnosis, one of them.
So, okay.
That's the one I'm mistaken for the ESA letter.
Okay. All right, so far I'm not seeing a letter to Mr. Cooley from your therapist about your dog.
Again, when you just went to the life stance and I said that's my diagnosis, one of them, that was the paper I mistaken for my ESA letter.
Okay. All right, so we don't have that today. Mr. Cooley, do you have anything, Ms. Nakima, Ms. Adams, do you have anything else?
No, Your Honor. Well, yes, I also informed the housing, my representative with the housing choice voucher program. I have someone who's been stalking me relentlessly. He put a gun to my head and tried to unalive me last week. So May 16th, I spoke with Mr. Bruce at DeKalb Housing and let him know that I wanted request for vacancy anyways for fear of my life, because this man is really gonna do something to me. So my job has already transferred me. I asked in mediation for Mr. Cooley just to give me 3 weeks to 4 weeks in order to catch up his arrears. So I don't have a judgment while I'm just uprooting in order to get away from this man. So I planned on vacating anyways. I can't live here safely. The man, I had to say I have a lot going on. So again, I understand I didn't pay the pet fees. My dog, she's been prescribed. I've had her since she's going on 2. I've had her since she was 6 weeks old. So he said December. I don't know what December he was speaking of, but I've had her going on 2 years now, 2 going on 3 years. The pet fees that he's charged me, it's been 17 of them. I was willing to pay the rent minus the $25.50 and pet fees. She's not a pet.
I mean, I have $900 in pet fees?
He's been charging it to me since February of 2023.
Okay. Well, he's only asking, in terms of the judgment today, he's just asking for 6 months of pet fees.
Because he's charged me since February 2023 unlawfully for pet fees for a disabled woman for her dog, because I'm not blind or I don't
So, Mr.
understand because
Cooley,
it's the outward physical. I'm legally disabled. I am. So he's charging me and I have a disability for my dog.
Without the pet fees, you would still get a money judgment and you would also get your writ of possession.
So you're saying today, if I say do away with the pet fee, you give me 7 days?
Well, I'm just saying it seems to be okay. So she didn't produce an actual letterhead that shows it was actually sent to you directly. However, she does seem to have pretty solid evidence that she does have certain disabilities and that there were text messages related to that issue. So my thought is that, even if we take off the $900 for the pet fees, there's still going to be a money judgment in your favor, which means you're entitled to your writ. So if she's upset, her main issue is the pet fee. And so anyway, that's kind of where I'm thinking. What are your thoughts on that?
Your Honor, I definitely understand what you're saying. The situation, and I'm just going to just testify, and I might just agree with you. Just hear me out. Miss Adams, every time I get to this point where I come to court, she expressed to me her illness and all this other things that I had to figure out after bringing her to court. There is nothing documented sending it to me prior to us going to court. Everything that you saw, it came after our first eviction court. And I said, okay, we'll work it out. And that's exactly what I did. I gave her time to figure it out. And we got back to this part where I'm sending her information, asking her to pay. And here we are, 6 months out. I take that back. 7 months out. I don't know how long I'm supposed to wait to get paid. I know it's only $453 a month, but the communication is not there. We come to court again. Now I'm hearing about a stalker. Now I'm hearing that she's supposed to submit a paper. And the thing is, if she submitted it, I would have it. And I am not going to break the law for $150. But the thing I don't like is breaking my lease agreement when there's no pets allowed. So I'm saying, hey, just produce a letter. But if this will move this case in a faster pace, take the $900 off, give me rent possession, because here's the thing, Miss Adams has to understand. If it falls under judgment, she's going to lose her voucher.
You're breaking up. You break up a little bit.
I said once it falls under a judgment, she loses her voucher.
Honestly, filing the eviction puts her voucher at risk. Just that.
Yes, it does.
So
I understand.
And the thing is, what I'm saying is that the communication is the key to all of this. Now I don't believe, because I've communicated with Miss Adams several times, and we got a system set up that is seamless. It's seamless that you can communicate on a platform. We have software that it is noted. Anytime you send a text, anytime you send a document, it's the software is called Tenant Cloud. It would be there, and I have none. Only thing I have from her is text messages from a new number every so many months. I literally had to send someone over to our house to get her number. And the only thing getting her attention is the eviction. So I'm pretty much fed up with it. I'm venting a little bit, but I do wish you well if everything you're saying is true. I wish you well. And I hope things work out for you. But I at this point in time, I think it's best that we just cut ties and we just move forward with the eviction. Yes, Your Honor, I'll take the $900 off.
Give you your house. Don't understand is whether you believe me or not. I said if, but it's so true. So I just said, I let him know, so you can check if you don't believe that I contacted Bruce before I even got the eviction. And you're right, my life has been upside down.
Yeah, I don't know who Bruce is.
I don't. he knows who. I'm talking about my specialist. I don't sleep. I'm up all night. I'm a prisoner in my house. Yes, it's true. This man put a gun to my head and said, your kids won't see you. Yes, who would lie about something like that? I am a prisoner. I can't think. I don't eat. I don't sleep. I have pills to wake up. I have pills to go to sleep, pills to focus, pills not to be. So yes,
Okay.
yes, I couldn't
Okay.
be
All
here
right, Ms.
more than
Adams, it sounds like you're going through a rough time. Okay.
trying to kill me.
But at this point, I do think that Mr. Cooley is entitled to a money judgment. I think just to give you the benefit of the doubt and in consideration of your situation, I will take off the pet fees. That leaves the money judgment to $2,854.01. And there, Mr. Cooley will be able to apply for a writ of possession at 11:59 p.m. on June 27th, which is really technically the 28th. You're muted, sir.
I wasn't saying anything, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. So that's the order of the court. I didn't hear any defenses to it. Sounds like the rent has not been paid. And that if I take off the pet fees, that is the total amount of the judgment. And writ would be available 7 days from today. So that
So
would
you're
be
asking, you're taking off the pet fees since he's been charging me pet fees, or
he only asked for the 6 months, and I'm not going back beyond what what the documents say. I'm not going beyond the pleadings. I'm giving you credit for $900 of pet fees, which is frankly very borderline. I'm giving you a lot of benefit of the doubt on that, and I feel like you do have a condition, and that that's the issue. Even with or without the pet fees, you're still going to owe him money, which means he's going to be entitled to a judgment, which means he's going to be entitled to a writ. That part is not going to be different. Okay. So that is going to be my ruling today. I will get that order done. Again, that money judgment will be $2,854.01, and the writ will be available next Thursday at 11:59 p.m.
Can I get
You broke up. I couldn't hear you.
I said, am I allowed court costs as well?
What were your final days?
life? My God. He might as well just kill me, because like, damn, okay, crazy. I'm fleeing from my life, your house back.
Okay.
I'm because
I'm not going to do the court costs. I'm just going to do that judge. That'll be the judgment. You can get your writ next week. Okay.
I didn't hear you, Your Honor.
I'm not going to add any more funds to that. It's just going to be the $2,854.01, and you can have your writ at 11:59 p.m. next Thursday. Okay.
11:59. Yes. Do I receive anything in the email of that?
You should get, if you are signed up for e-service, this is for both of you. If you're signed up for e-service, you will get e-notification once the order is actually uploaded into the file.
I'm not. I'm sure I'm not.
Okay. And then it should be sent out. Ms. Harper, would it be mailed to him and Ms. Adams, or how does that work when they're not doing the e-service, or do they have to come get a copy themselves?
If we have their email on file, we email it. But if we don't have it on file, we'll send it by
Can you guys, Mr. Cooley, what if he chatted you his email address? Could you put it up there, put it in there, and you could get it that way? Ms. Adams, are you signed up for e-service?
Did y'all receive the notice by email for court?
Yes, I did.
That means you're set up for e-service. If you got the notice via email, then once this order hits the file, it will be notice will be sent to you that it's in there.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Cooley, Mr. Cooley, and Ms. Adams, you are both free to go.
All right. Thank you.